Jason, how are you doing, mate?
Very good. How are you doing today?
I'm okay. Still breathing. I'm doing okay.
Well, that's good. Excellent.
Good.
How's the weather where you are at?
It's a little bit mild, but the sun just came out right here.
Oh, well.
So it's trying to warm up a little bit. How is it there? Cold?
Very cold, yes.
Yes.
In Nova Scotia,
Is
Canada.
it minus something there?
-2.
-2. Wow. Okay. Well, don't go outside.
I have already been. Last week was -16.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's oof.
I'm sure in your days you went to cold places also.
We did do some cold places. Bulgaria, Russia was cold. Not -16, mind you, but it was cold.
So what's up with Rhino Bucket? You guys making a tour and album soon?
Yeah, we're setting up dates. We got some dates for this year. We finally got ourselves in a situation. We had some problems with the mixing of the album, and we had to more or less start again. So things are starting to get back on track, and the songs are sounding really good. And hopefully, I think the drop date for it is May. So it's sounding good, and we're all getting ready to go out on the road and kick some ass, you know.
Great stuff. Looking forward to seeing that. If you guys pass this way, of course.
I'm not sure.
That's quite far.
It's mostly California. It's mostly the Midwest, and there's some shows east. It's mainly in the U.S.
So you're still working with Dio also?
Yeah. We're still his band. Obviously, he's doing the Heaven and Hell thing at the moment, but he's very excited about doing the next Dio album and getting back together with us. We're all doing our other projects and stuff, but he's always excited about doing his own album, so it's all good.
Any talk on the new Dio album?
I think he is. There is some stuff that he's kind of written for it, but as far as a new Dio album coming out, we don't know when, because at the moment they're in the studio with Heaven and Hell doing that album. So he's concentrating mainly on that, I think.
So going back to ACDC days in 1983, I've heard that you've auditioned from a note in the paper or something like that. Is this true?
Yeah.
That's how you applied for the job?
That's exactly how I applied, yeah. It was an advertisement for in the musicians wanted section of an English music paper, and it said if drummer wanted, if you don't hit hard, don't apply. So I applied.
Because you hit hard?
I do.
How many drumsticks you break in a day?
Well, usually in a show, it depends. It's between probably 6 and 8 pairs.
Wow, you must be hitting hard.
I go through a lot of sticks. Yeah, that's for sure.
Who put the ad in the paper? Was it an ACDC member?
That I do not know. It was probably, I imagine it was probably one of the management, or maybe a person at the record company. I really don't know that for sure. But they had a lot of applicants. Apparently there was like 900 to 1,000 drummers.
900,000?
900.
Oh, 900. I was going to say, that is a big number.
No, it wasn't quite that many, but it was a lot, and I guess I got lucky, which it worked out.
Any other big names in that audition?
I don't know. I don't know. I think they did look at. There was a drummer who used to play in Roxy Music, who they knew. and I think they played with him or rehearsed with him for a little bit, but for one reason or another, it didn't work out, and it worked out good for me. So,
For sure. And you're unknown at that time.
Yes, probably. I'd done shows. I'd done some shows with. I was in London at the time, and I'd been in a band called Titan. And we did some shows, and we did some recording and stuff, and they were quite well known in London, but nothing as big as ACDC, obviously.
No. So, on the Fly on the Wall album, which is my favorite ACDC album, is...
Really?
Yeah, it is. One of the heaviest sounding albums also. Is it because you influenced it, in a sense, with the drumming?
It's hard to influence a band like that. I mean, they're
but the sound changed at that time.
I think it did a little bit. I think the place we recorded it too helped a lot, because it was a huge live room, huge, massive round building, and it was extremely live in there. I mean, the echo was everywhere. So I think that helped with the sound. And I think we there was an air of excitement around, because they'd found a drummer, and they were writing and stuff, and they were, back on track, so to speak. So everybody was, up for it, and it's a really live, great sounding album. I like it too. I mean, I think it turned out great. So.
What's your favorite Bon Scott album?
Me, Porridge.
And what's your favorite Brian Johnson album?
I'd have to say For Those About to Rock. I like that album.
You like that album? It's very good.
Yeah.
Very heavy drumming also on that one.
Yeah, very heavy. That I think they took it to the limits on that one. You couldn't get anything louder and harder and heavier than the sound that I thought on For Those About to Rock. It's a great sounding album.
But one of the heaviest drum tracks of ACDC's got to be like D.T. Of Who Made Who. The sound quality of it.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That was George and Harry, wasn't it? Yeah. It was weird. It was actually weird doing that, an instrumental, because you don't really think of the band doing that, but it fitted in pretty well with the movie that came out. It was fun to open it, it was a really easy going thing doing Who Made Who, for the bits for the movie. It was great. It was great fun.
Do you still contact the group at all?
No, I don't. I did see them. I did go down to see them. They've just played in Los Angeles here in December, and I went down and I said hello again and stuff. I hadn't seen them in a long time, and we got on great. And the show was amazing. It was one of the loudest shows I've ever seen.
Yeah.
But it was great, to meet up with them, and they all looked good, and they sounded good too. So it's a good time. It's great seeing them again.
What was your reason for leaving the group in '89?
I think it got to a situation, excuse me, where I needed to explore different things and stuff, especially personally from the drumming side of things. And although ACDC is a great band, obviously, I needed to kind of broaden my horizons a little bit, playing wise.
Right.
And I think I got a little bit bored. The songs are still great. It was just, personally coming from the drum side of things. And I would go home to my house. I have a drum kit there, and I'd be playing away and doing stuff. And, it just became apparent that I was, not as enthusiastic about what was going on anymore. And I think they saw that as well. So it was kind of like a mutual parting of the ways. So, led me to do some of the stuff that I really, I know that I didn't enjoy doing the stuff with ACDC, but it was different, to do other stuff like the Dio stuff.
Right, you're more excited than Dio.
Yeah, I mean, I still like playing that way, playing that classic, four on the floor kind of thing. I still enjoyed that, I mean, Rhino Bucket is going back to that kind of simple rock and roll drumming, which I enjoy, but at that time, I needed to kind of move on and try and do some other things, and I think it worked out okay. It sounds a bit selfish of me just to put it that way, just up and, kind of leave like that, but I just had to really do it, for personal reasons, so.
Right.
Yeah. So,
then you finally joined Dio in 1990, and you get to start ripping on the drums.
That's right. Yeah, like I say, I mean, when I hooked up with Ronnie, he had already written most of the songs and stuff for the album that was going to be recorded. So I only had a couple of weeks to learn the stuff, and then we were going to go to Nevada to record the album. So it was a little bit of a rush job, but I really enjoyed the difference in the style in playing. It was a real breath of fresh air, and working with Ronnie is just the best thing. He's just brilliant. I mean, he's a fantastic guy. He's pure genius and a real gentleman as well. So it worked out well. He needed a drummer, and I was kind of floating around, so it really worked out well.
And then you stayed with the group for a very long time.
No, fortunately no, because I think it was like 2 years. We toured the Lock Up the Wolves album, and that was for about a year. So it was just a couple of years, and then, for one reason or another, he felt it was time to return to Black Sabbath and do that. And
yes.
I can't even start to blame him or anything. I mean, because it was a great opportunity for him. So I think after, Ronnie was doing that, I was doing a little bit of, I think I can remember, yeah. I was doing the Rhino Bucket thing, and then I happened on UFO as well, which I did for 3 years, and that was good.
With Michael Schenker on guitar?
With Michael, yeah. Yeah, it was all kind of weird. It started off, it was a friend of a friend, and it started off, it was going to be MSG, Michael Schenker group, and then it suddenly changed, and it was UFO, and I was thinking, well, okay, this is great, because, I know a lot of UFO stuff, and I like the band, so it really worked out well, and it was pretty much a classic lineup back together again, with the exception of me, obviously. And we did some great shows. I mean, Michael is a brilliant guitar player. When he gets going, it's just incredible what he can do.
Mm-hmm.
And then for one thing or another, that came to an end, and I ended up back with Ronnie again. So it really worked out. I've been really lucky that way. I ended up back, and we were doing. I think they'd released a live album, Dio, at that point. I mean, and he was touring that.
When you play on the Evil and Divine album, the DVD, I mean, how long did it take you to structure out that drum solo you're doing there, if you remember?
Sure, yeah. With most solos, it doesn't take that long, because I've got a basis for the solo. I've got the basics down, what I normally do in the solo. There's certain patterns that I go to, and that you remember, and they stick in your head. That way there is some kind of conformity to it. But it doesn't take that long. I did have to rehearse the music. You have to sit down and you have to learn it and think about what you're doing and what's going to be what works best within that style of music, the orchestral part. And it would, I would say it doesn't take that long, but I'm always aware that I don't want to kind of destroy the classical part of it, the feeling of it. With when I put drums to it, you can sometimes walk all over it and destroy the orchestral feeling. But so that's something that I do bear in mind. But it usually takes about a week or so, or just thinking about it again, laying it down, and then trying some other parts that might work better.
Going back to Dio, how many times did you guys rehearse to get the show tight, the live show?
With Ronnie, well, we usually talk about the set before we rehearse, between all of us, and what we think would be good to do. Which songs haven't been done in a while. And obviously, usually the songs that have to be done, like Rainbow in the Dark and Man on the Silver Mountain and Heaven and Hell, all those songs need to be done. So we try to discuss about what songs have been done in the past, and obviously if we have a new album out, we have to pick a couple of new songs from that.
Right.
But Ronnie's great because we always try to change the set too when we're on the road. We're always talking music. We're always trying to think about how we can make something more powerful, or say an ending on a song more powerful, or a guitar solo section. So it's really enjoyable. Having all the input from all the members, Rudy and Craig and Scott. We all put our ideas in there, and we usually rehearse probably a couple of weeks. Ronnie really likes to rehearse, and that's fine with me. So it's usually a couple of weeks.
Did you get the new ACDC Black Ice album?
I have heard it. A friend of mine let me borrow it. It sounds great.
You like it?
Good. I do like it. Yeah, I think it sounds great. It's got a great sound to it. I think. Is it Brendan O'Brien? I think he engineered it. Yeah, it sounds great. There's some good tracks on there, some good catchy tracks, and then there's some more intricate tracks. And I think the title track, Black Ice, is cool. It's a great song.
Rock and Roll Train.
Rock and Roll Train, yeah.
Do you feel in the future there'd be a reunion with the Simon Wright of the 1980s ACDC lineup?
That I don't know. that who knows? I think it's good that Phil is back in the band because he was the original guy, and he's got a great feel.
Right.
He's got a great feel for that band, and he fits the band so well. He's the original guy, and but as far as a reunion, I don't know. We'll see. Okay, you're welcome. No problem, Jason. Good talking with you.
Thank you for your time.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, mate.